We are so excited to explore this huge canon ship. It's one of my favorite ships. I am in this ship. We are exploring Harley and Joker today. We have Troy Baker joining us. We have voice director Amanda Wyatt and comic book artist Chad Hardin.
So cool. And did you know I played the Joker one time?
I do now, and I mean, that's nice.
I mean, it's not a Troy Baker Joker.
It's not.
Troy is amazing.
Yeah, he's amazing.
But wow, what a great ship. This is gonna be a really fun show. Let's hop into it.
Let's hop into it. Let's hop into it. Let's hop into it.
With a little effects, Luke, you can put the ship and show.
Hop into it.
So this is all I have is just you can't tell if I really love it or if I'm just like,
I like it.
Maybe there's something gastric happening. Dude.
Welcome to the Ship It Show.
Let's get this show started. We are so excited. Been waiting a long time to explore this ship, and I called my friend Troy and said, hey, if you were on the show, what would you want to do? And he said...
Don't ever call me again. Why would you call me?
Or he said, Harley and Joker, which I was like, hell yes. And so we're so excited to have you, Troy.
Oh, hell yeah.
Say hi to the world. And
hi to the world.
Please tell everybody where they can find you on social.
Oh my God. Where can you find me on social? Has anybody hit to Clubhouse yet? Are you like, I'm really digging this, and to me it feels like the Soho House of social media. To like, oh, you have to be nominated and you have to be, and we're super pretentious, and it's just a bunch of Hollywood people that are smelling their own farts. Yeah. And then I get in there and I'm like, oh, this is really, I picked up that phrase, by the way, from someone leaving me a YouTube comment about me. And I'm like, well, I'm going to steal that. Like, that's a great thing. Like, Troy Baker loves the smell of his own farts. I'm like, I don't, but I'm going to use that phrase. I feel like I'm most active I feel my age with Instagram. I feel like I want to be more active on Instagram, and there's just too many barriers of entry for me. It's like, I'm a storyteller. I want to tell a story, but I don't want to take a picture and then draw on it and then type on it and then flippy with the links and all. It's a lot of work for me. But I like to be a practitioner of words, and so Twitter is kind of like my go-to, I guess. But it's the most vitriolic. I'm going to be the weirdest guest you've ever had.
I think,
I'm saying that, and Greg Sipes is one of the hosts.
Yeah. I love all that, and you are good with words. So
I try to be.
Thank you for joining us today, my love.
Okay.
Then we have an awesome special guest, Amanda Wyatt. For those of you who don't know, I think actually you gave Troy his first Joker. Is that true?
Damn straight.
Yeah, it was. Do you know how long ago that was?
Yeah, 2013.
2013. I had to actually look. I heard you say, tell us where to find you on social. I was like, shit. What's my Twitter handle? It's Amanda_Wyatt, DO. Yeah, and on Instagram as well, but I'm not really sure. I would say that I'm like super out there on Instagram.
You're so gorgeous. Look at your hair.
46 years old, and it's hard for me to
you're a stunning woman.
She's a Disney princess.
She is a naturally stunningly beautiful woman.
Do we want to talk about that?
Yeah.
Can we talk about that?
Wait. We need to introduce one more guest. There's one other human here. I think, Troy, you might get a little bit geeked out when you hear who he is.
I'm Chad Hardin.
Chad Hardin.
I drew Harley Quinn for the comic books for DC with the New 52 relaunch and also the Rebirth relaunch. So
wow.
You did?
Yeah. Yes.
You want to hold some of your stuff
Yeah,
up?
sure.
You're so talented.
Wow.
Here's this is our collection of our first graphic novel. And so this is Harley's big reappearance, redesigned by Amanda Connor. And then here's our Rebirth. Right now in comics, the big thing is to relaunch the universe every couple of
5 years.
years, so people can
right.
have a #1 issue.
Right.
And I think I'm still the only Harley artist that has 2 #1s.
Wow.
Amazing. Amazing.
Awesome.
Will you please tell everybody how they can find you on social?
I'm still on Instagram because I draw pretty pictures and nothing else. So Instagram Hardin_art. And I'm also on Facebook. It's really hard to find me. It's Chad Hardin, or I'm not on Facebook, sorry, Twitter. Chad Hardin on Twitter. And anyway, I'm really hard to find that way because I use my actual name, which if I had a do-over, I would have used an artist pen name or something like that. But
Oh,
I
well,
was old school. I never thought that anyone would pay attention to me. So I was like, oops. Oh,
you
well.
never thought anyone would pay attention to you. Are you crazy?
Well, it just didn't occur to me for a long time. Then all of a sudden you get when I started doing Harley, you get all these fans.
Right.
And I'm like, maybe this isn't a good idea to have my address.
Not your address.
You're like,
Let's do a little editing here.
Share this. This is really for my kids' kindergarten.
I'm getting a lot of mail lately.
Aw.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys all so much for joining us today. We're so excited to explore this ship. It's like one of the most canon ships ever.
I played Joker one time.
You did?
Have you really?
On what?
Yeah, I'm just remembering that I did play Joker in the Imposters shorts that Ciro Nieli created, and they were amazing. They were twisted. We did about 4 or 5 little shorts.
I remember those.
And it was the Imposter shorts, and it was basically really violent. It was basically, the imposters of Joker and was it Batman killing each other, all the different versions of the imposters killing each other, and I got to play all the Jokers. It was twisted.
Cool.
Wow.
Greg Sipes is like this mystery enigma that just kind of like the ether and Greg floats into the studio. And then I was always intimidated by you, dude.
What?
Because, oh my God, so much so. And I didn't know. I was like, is he, I don't know what he is. Should I try to understand? Should I seek to understand? But there's always like, there's like, the winds would change and the barometric pressure in the room would change a little bit, and you just hear like Greg Sipes is about to appear, and Greg would just kind of come in and he'd do his thing. And you're like, he's not gonna be talented. Like, I get it, he's a snack. He's not gonna be. And he's talented too, and he can act. And then you find you're a musician, and then you're just, and then as I start delving deeper into like my whole philosophical rabbit hole, I get one session with you where we like get into it, and then quarantine happened. And you
Just as we were starting to connect, I know.
I was
starting to be like, I love this brother.
Like I went up to the mountain, and then it was just a mudslide, and I slid all the way back down. And I was like, well, but here's the best totem of the impact of that final conversation that we had. And my driveway is an i3 right now.
There you go. I love to hear that.
Oh my
I'm on my
God.
3rd one. It's the best electric car you could ever get. Did you get the backup gas generator?
That was the entryway into Greg Sipes. Like, I said, you have the i3? He goes, man, it's the best car I've ever had in my life. I was like, I've been thinking about getting one. And then it was just like philosophy and esoteric thought. And I was like, this is what I should have been doing for years.
I think this is the first time in Ship It history that someone's come on the show and they actually ship Greg Sipes. I think it's the first time ever happened.
Well, I'm honored. I truly
Big
am.
day. It's a big day for
Thank
you.
you. It's an auspicious day. I think
It was
all
a-
kinds
it
of
was a
things are
wonderful
aligning
day.
right now. The full moon brought in a lot of good energy.
I want to know, is this a quarantine beard, or is this just like, oh, it's Monday and I just had like, how long is this for you? This is,
I mean, I'm
nothing would
hairy,
surprise
dude.
me.
Do you
I'm
guys
hairy.
do you guys want to get a room?
Yeah.
I mean, you're cuter than ever, by the way, Troy.
Oh, my God.
I have to attribute it to my diet. Your
Okay.
hair grows very quickly if you're drinking a tremendous amount of green juice or basically chlorophyll, oil, and water. Tara and I's friend actually taught us that, our doctor friends.
Oh,
COW,
amazing.
C-O-W, chlorophyll, oil, and water is how you build healthy blood. So the healthier your blood is, the more blood you're producing, which ultimately makes your hair grow so fast. I'm already naturally like a monkey, a human monkey. But like with this kind of diet, it's like my hair goes quick, man.
Wow.
And I love it. Did you know a beard really helps protect you from all kinds of, it's like a filter, as well as it's your antennas. And I feel chicks love to grab on it.
It's where you put your
Well, I was about to
food.
say, it also for some people, it could be a great filter for people you don't want to be around you. Like some
That
people,
too.
like, but it's weird. Women are oddly attracted to beards.
Sometimes.
Sometimes,
Wow.
Troy.
This is
sometimes.
this is not how I saw this show.
Do you want to know the story? I don't know. Amanda Wyatt, I don't even know if you know the story. I am just derailing this.
No,
at
you're just
every-
taking over. By the way, no one's been able to accomplish that. I think Greg likes that we found someone that could shut me up.
I like the Terra's a dominatrix personally.
Sticks and stones may break my bones, but whips and chains excite me.
Yeah.
Flashback, 2011, maybe 2012. 2012. So Last of Us had come out, and I was down at San Diego Comic-Con with a lovely British gentleman named Paz. And Paz says, meet me for a drink. And I say, okay, because it's Comic-Con and that's what you do.
Mhm.
And so we went to the gas lamp somewhere, and we had a drink. And he goes, you went in for an audition. I should rewind. I go down to Amanda Wyatt's spot down in Venice, and I go in, and there's just a character. They haven't said that it's Joker. I think the characters on the breakdown was Jack. Nobody got the sides beforehand. You walked in, you picked up the sides, and you saw what you were reading for. And everybody had different slotted times. And I looked at this, and there were 3 scenes. One was from, I think, Batman the Animated Series. One was from, I guess it was, one was The Killing Joke for sure. But
One
then I
was
think,
the Killing Joke for sure.
yeah, and that was like the 3rd one. And so I walked in, I was like, so you guys going for like a Mark Hamill? And everyone like freaked out. I was like, what are you talking about? We're not talking about the Joker at all. I was like, well, it's clearly the Joker. Like we can all, like, I know the text.
We can all discern what it is. Hello.
It's like, and they were like, well, I don't know. And I instantly, something dawned on me today. Someone was talking about the imposter syndrome. And I'm like, that's a misnomer. It's not the imposter syndrome. A syndrome is a disease. Typically, it's a genetic or degenerative disease. Imposter syndrome is a misnomer. It's actually just the imposter symptoms, because you have the symptoms of it. And typically it's because, as they said in Top Gun, your ego's writing checks that your body can't cash. And I think I had been doing that so much that I'd believed the hype about myself. And now is about to be put to test, where there was literal text in front of me that was a challenge. Can you do this? Here is the person, here's the character that literally propelled you into this industry, and you have an opportunity to do it. Can you do it? Perform right now. And I figured I had one shot at it, and they had set up a camera because they wanted to capture some facial expressions. And they said, what do you want to start with? I said, Killing Joke, because you may stop me, but at least I'm going to get these words out because it's one of my favorite graphic novels. And I was like, I want to hear that monologue spoken aloud. I never had. It's just been me as a kid and a dork in my room reading that. And so we went into it, and I just did it down the barrel. And that was it. I left the audition and freaked out. And Gordon Hunt had some great advice. He said, don't let the audition be the last thing you do that day. Have something else. Go get some ice cream. Go see a movie. Go hang out with a friend. Don't let that audition, because you'll pine about it. So I leave, and I didn't have anything else planned to do, and I just wondered about that. Cut to a couple months later, or a couple weeks later, we're down in San Diego Comic-Con having a drink with Paz. He said they're going to offer you the role. And I was like, man, I just feel like right now where I'm at in my career, that's not exactly, because instantly I'm filled with fear, and I don't want to do that role because I'm afraid that I'm going to really fuck it up.
Really?
And
I didn't know that story.
Terrified. I was terrified. And Paz was like, you should meet with them and you should say yes. You're an idiot if you don't.
Yeah.
So they offer it, and I say no. And then the second time, and then Ames Kirshen, who at the time was president of Warner Brothers Games, calls me into his office and says, meet me at the office. I was like, okay. And so I drive over to the office, and I go up to his office, and I sit down, and he turns the monitor around, and he shows me my audition, the videotape of me auditioning. And he plays it back, which is the most uncomfortable thing for an actor to ever do, is to actually watch back their audition. You're like picking it apart going, oh, that's shit. Why? And I was like, look, man, you don't have to rub this in my face. I get it. I'm bad. He goes, that's really good. I was like, thank you, man. He goes, no, you don't get it. We think that's really good, and we're really smart. I was like, okay. And he goes, you need to get over yourself, and you need to do this.
Mhm.
Trust us. We're not going to let that. We're really invested in this game. We're not going to let it be bad. And so then I find out that Roger is going to be Batman, and Roger and I walked into every session thinking it was a joke, and walked out of every session going, I mean, they're going to fire us, right? And it wasn't until we were in London for the launch event for Arkham Origins, that we would have fully expected them to go, all right, let's go ahead and bring out Batman and Joker real quick. Roger, Troy, you guys stay still. We have Kevin and Mark. They're actually going to walk out, and we're going to be totally fine with it. And we walked down. They were like, this is our Batman. This is our Joker. And I was like, well, I guess it's real now. And I learned a lot from that. And it's been one of the greatest things. But there were so many sessions. I love that you're here, Amanda, because there's so many sessions that, like, a standard session is 4 hours. And there were some sessions where Amanda would be like, I'm going to call it. And we're 2 hours in. We have a lot of work to do. But she's like, you lost it. You're not there. And it made before I took the role, Mark and I had the same agent. And I was like, I got to know if they offered it to Mark. And because I'm not going to say yes if Mark said no. And that's happened a couple times. And Mark has told me, is like, I really appreciate that. It's like, that's me honoring the legacy of what you've done for this role and for me. And Amanda took care of me, because what she saw was someone who really still felt the need to impress everybody in the room. And she could hear it in my voice that sometimes I needed to take a break. But man, I learned a lot. I learned a lot during that role. So I'm sorry. I thank you for letting me take over for a second, but I wanted
cool.
to.
That's a good story.
I was gonna ask you how you got the part, but now we don't have to do that. So
You were in my first session.
I was?
Yeah. You and me. And it was that one of the most defining to me Joker Harley moments. And you of all people know the history of that role and how it's was non-canonical that became canonical because it was such a beloved character that was born out of the animated series, from everything that Bruce and Alan were doing with that show. And this giving Joker his Robin, giving Joker his counterpart was one of the most, that was 30 years in that happened, you know? And it's such a beautiful move. And so you were my first session, and that incredible monologue about, you know, I get to hear you, which I've heard you do Harley, and it's just not fair. Because especially someone who has so much love and affection for the animated series, you're her. And
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like it's crazy. Like we're all fans of the things that we do. And there's people in this industry, like I never got a chance to work with Mel Blanc. I never got a chance to go to Hanna-Barbera, but like there's like some of those tenements that I didn't get, but every time I step in the booth, Frank Welker, it freaks me out. Every session I've ever been able to do with Mark Hamill freaks me out. Kevin freaks me out. And
I got to shake Hanna-Barbera's hand, or Mr. Barbera.
Oh, no.
Joe's, really?
Was that who it was, Tara, at the old Warner Brothers animation? It was Mr. Barbera.
He would come
in his
visit.
wheelchair. He would be wheelchaired in to the studio, and I got to shake his hand one day.
Wait, here's another little fun fact that Greg, like, don't kill me. I think we've only met like once in an audition.
How is that possible?
No,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, what's going on?
I got on the call, and you guys are already in it. And I was like, how are Troy and Greg not best friends? Like, I'm shocked at that. And then I've been watching some of the shows since Tara texted me about it. And I'm like, all right, what's this about? And I'm like, yeah, I remember Greg, and I could be wrong, but you came into Warner for like one audition, and same thing, Troy. Like, I was like, this Greg Sykes coming in, like, I don't really work with it, and I'm kind of nervous. And yeah, and that was it. And like, we not work together. Isn't that weird? You think like we all work together all the time,
I know.
It's a
Well,
pretty tight knit crew.
it is. It is unusual if you didn't like if someone says to me, "Oh, my friend does a lot of animation." Okay, what's his name? Blah 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 blah. Never heard of him. So I go, they don't do a lot because we do all know each other.
Yeah.
I've never heard of that person.
No, they don't.
If I haven't heard of no, but it is. It's a very small knit group. I want to hear, Amanda. I love your audition story, Troy. It's mind boggling that you said no. Voice actors never say no.
Yeah.
So it's mind-boggling that you did, and of course I want to talk a little bit more about how we really second guess ourselves and get in our way, and like actors are just they're so wanting to perform their craft at the best possible level that they were put on this earth to do, and the idea of putting something out there that's not that is like devastating. And I also freaked out stepping into Miss Quinn's boots a
Shit,
lot.
yeah.
I really did.
Mhm.
So, but before we get into that whole mind space, I just want to hear from Amanda her perspective of casting Troy and the first time you worked with him and what that was like.
Well, it wasn't the first time we'd worked together because I
No.
I
remember
mean,
the first.
on the Joker stuff.
Yeah. Well, the Joker stuff, we just knew that. I mean, I remember now that you bring up this story, Troy, I do remember your hesitation. And I remember you, I think even at Game On, approached me going, what? So why isn't the big guy doing this?
Yeah.
Right. In all, honor to Mark. He was like, well, did he? And I think I was probably at a position where I couldn't talk about it.
Yeah.
Just audition. And it was a younger Joker, right? Because it was the origin story. So it was, I think Paws had made that commitment that it was going to be a different take on things. And so I think your questions, if I remember correctly, and quite frankly, everyone's question was, well, am I doing his version or am I doing my own version of it? And that was, I think, where I thought what you did was amazing because it honored it. At the same time, it allowed it, some breath to be what Mark has made it, right? So I just, I don't know. I mean, Troy's amazing.
I would love to underscore. You gave me some brilliant advice, and I want to make sure you don't gloss over this. What really helped me is you framed it this way. You said, if Mark was a laser, you are a fire hose. And it's the same amount of energy that Mark's version had been able to hone over time, and its maturity. Yours is just the wanton spewing of energy.
Right. He was in
That helped
development.
tremendously.
Yeah. Because he was coming into his own still, right?
Yeah.
But what kills me about Troy is he one day would play Joker, and then the next day he'd go over to play the Bat in another gig, which to me that just shows your talent. It's crazy.
Troy's got talent. That's for sure.
Look out, everybody.
It's
All those
crazy.
people on the internet were wrong.
But there really was a lot of focus during that whole production of making it his own.
Yeah, you have to do that. If there's a legacy
Yeah.
performer who is capable of doing that job, why aren't they doing that job? Hopefully, like Troy said, we find out if it's a money thing. If it's not a money thing and you want to go a different direction, it's a big deal to honor someone's origin and how their voice first came to life and making it your own.
Right.
And we're also damn conscientious. We want to do it right. We
Yeah.
wanna get it
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a big deal. It's not a little deal, by the way. And we know this. It's a big fucking deal. It's Harley and Joker. It's
Is
Yeah.
it the same thing though, Chad? If you're that's the whole point of an artist, right? Is to find something different. So I don't know if that really scans with you.
It is and it isn't. It's really weird. They always tell you, your art directors, your editors always tell you, they're like, okay, never copy this other artist because if we wanted to hire that artist, we could hire that artist. So they want you to have this unique style, but at the same time, it's almost like they want you to fit in, especially since Jim Lee's been, one of the higher ups at DC. There's a lot of people okay, this is great. See if you can make it look like Jim, you're like, okay. And my style's very, much more cartoony than Jim Lee's is. So it's a weird dichotomy. I'm just grateful that they gave me the chance to do the book. Jimmy Palmiotti and Amanda Connor were the writers. And they had their friend, I believe Fiona Staples, who they asked, and she was busy. She was on another book. and they just went to the portfolio site and they saw what I'd been doing with. I've been working for DC for probably 12 years before they asked me to come aboard and on Harley, and they just approached me out of the blue, and I had grown up on the animated series, so when they asked me, I was like, yeah, like.
I would be honored. Yes, I could possibly fit that into my schedule.
Yeah.
Right. And but it was really interesting though, because DC has sort of adopted like this really dark tone with all their books, and even in the movies, like their movies are very dark and very serious, especially lately. I would almost since the Tim Burton movies, and much more darker than Marvel. And when Jimmy and Amanda started writing this book, they immediately just went for the comedy. They're like, okay, we're going to pull every laugh we can get, and they just went completely crazy with it. And it was like getting paid to play in recess. It was a lot of fun. But it's just you definitely always want to have your artistic style, and you want to stay true to that. But at the same time, it's like you have to have the versatility to where if they come to you, you can say yes to any job. And that's what I tell my students too. Like, I'm like, you never wanted to say no. You always want to say yes. And then if you don't know how to do it, figure out how to do it on the fly.
The lesson
Unless you're
is
trying,
say
yeah.
yes.
I know twice.
Say yes. And then
What I
figure
love
it
so
out.
much about all these conversations is it's so true. Like we grew up as fans of these characters and this whole world, and we get to play in this world. We get paid to play. It's like we're all so blessed that we get paid to do what we love. It's just what a gift.
Yeah.
That's just such a gift. My
Yeah.
gosh. And I don't know. I loved The Killing Joke when you talk about dark. And I
Yeah.
loved the movie so much. I loved the movie so much. It was very controversial, but I love doing it so much. Troy,
I was looking at my copy of Killing Joke. I think it's just right there.
I wanted to
Looks like it.
ask you what
Yeah.
your favorite Joker you've done. What your favorite iteration, version,
Oh my
movie,
God.
game that you've worked on that really touched you and was like, oh, I could die tomorrow.
I mean, you never forget your first. That's for sure. I don't know. It's. I remember the first movie that I did. I don't believe in regret. It doesn't serve me. As I get older, I look at it and I say, wisdom to me is there's a lot that I would have done differently, but I wouldn't change a thing. And the truth of that, the notion of it had always kind of been there, but the truth of it for me was when I had my boy, and I will announce to the world that I have the coolest kid ever, and I've met your kids. I'm like, I love your kids, but my son is awesome. And if there's any choice that I made, if there's any success that I could have attained, or if there's any failure that I could have avoided, that would have resulted in him a hair on his head being different, I wouldn't go back and change it. He's perfect. So being able to understand that my entirety of my life is culminated in him allows me to look back at my failures and the moments that even I still cringe about. When I first got into LA and I felt like I had to prove to everybody why I was in the room. All of that, I look back and go, man, that taught me so much, but I as much as I cringe, I wouldn't change it. But there's so much that the first go around, I was so scared about not living up to my own expectation of what I wanted it to be, that I think I couldn't see it. And as an actor, I always want to just be in that moment and not worrying about what is marketing going to do and how is this sounding. And it's just, is there a moment that we're crafting? Is there a moment that I'm in that's authentic? And that's what makes people want to pick up a book to read or a controller to play. And I think I was too wrapped up in the trappings of, holy shit, I can't believe they're letting me do this, as opposed to just the fact that I was doing this.
But can I say,
Sure.
just to cut you off, Troy, because
Please.
like you and Tara both, I know this is for the fans. And I am an outsider in terms of fans. I don't go to cons and I don't interact with fans. But but I have to say that you two both take such great care as to how your roles, prospectively, um, um, are given to the public, like nobody else. I mean, really, Tara has offered a gajillion times to do, like, I'll go to the con and I want to dress as Harley, make me a costume and I'll be there. And I'm always like, could you just please make her a costume? Because it would be amazing. I'm like, you guys
I
are.
know, I ask all the time. I'm like, get me that one. I want to suit up with that one.
Every game we're on, and I'm like, I don't know why you're not doing this. This is like,
I know.
And Troy, right? And Troy, I remember towards the end of the game, I guess what I'm trying to get across is, like, you didn't go in and do your day job, guys, and be like, P.S. I'm done. You were having meetings, wanting to figure out, how is this going to be rolled out? What can I do to facilitate, this? Is there any press that I can do? And just wanting to get out there and connect with the fans of our version of these characters. I think I just appreciate that.
I appreciate you saying that. And actually, that was going to be the next question. When you go to cons, have you do you have a favorite story of someone dressed as Joker or as a couple Harley Joker? And Amanda, for you, think if you've seen any of that stuff or received any weird fan mails about, like, those two together. And Chad, maybe for you, like, if you've been to a con, like, your favorite con moment where people are dressed as a character that you drew.
There's got to be so much.
I know, that's why I said pick your
ships.
favorite. I said pick your favorite. Okay, Troy.
Right.
Me first?
Mhm.
Yeah, I can pick my favorite. New York Comic Con 2013. I am in their Essential Hall H with Eric, Roger, and we're there to do the Arkham Origins panel. And I'm once again trembling backstage. I don't get nervous, especially in front of people. Like, I live, that's where I live. We are performers. I love being on a stage. I'm way better in front of like 500 or 5,000 than I am in front of 5
Same.
or 1.
Isn't that weird? Same.
No, it's personal. Like, I can track your eyes. I can
Yeah.
see if what I'm saying is resonating.
Yeah.
So I'm
It's
backstage.
actually even more, it's wild if you're naked in front of a lot of people. It's a whole nother feeling.
And you know that from experience. That's not just a notion. Like, I can tell that's experience speaking right there.
You should try it, man.
It's always so wonderful when Greg has something to say.
Yes. The contribution to the conversation.
Oh yeah, you missed the one where he was teaching
you're
people how to
naked.
poop. Teaching people how to poop.
No, I kind of want to know.
No,
because maybe I've been doing it wrong.
No.
It's like,
You have been doing it wrong.
No,
if you don't
man.
know.
So sorry
Nothing
I
needs to
introduced
come out of
this.
Okay,
We're
go
not doing
ahead.
this again.
The
Okay,
ancients
Troy.
knew
about
that
the
the
cow.
nose.
No,
All right.
no.
So I'm sitting there and
no, now
I'm-
he's pooping for you.
On top of the toilet.
I'm backstage and I'm nervous because I know I'm going to get out there, and I know that so far I've been able to kind of avoid, like, people. I was like, can we just get a little bit of we just want to get a little bit. I was like, you know what? I'm going to save it for the game, everybody. And Eric comes up to me, and he's the lovely Scottish fellow, and he goes, all right, this is the perfect time for you to go outside, and we'll give him a wee bit of the voice. I was like, you know, man, I just feel like we should probably just, wait. I'm not sure if that's in best service to our game. He's like, what are you afraid of? And I said, I guess it was just the poignancy and the directness of his question. Is like, I'm really scared that I'm going to go out there, I'm going to bomb it, and that people are going to hate me as the Joker, and they're going to hate our game. And he goes, oh, is that it? He goes, we made a great game. I don't think you could cook it up.
Oh, great line.
He's like, get out there and give the people what they want. And I was
Right.
like, you're right. He was like, let me help you set up for success. And I was like, this all started with the Killing Joke. I was like, can we go out there and do that? And he was like, yeah. He's like, I'll set you up well. And so I had it pulled up on my phone, and I knew it was coming. And I'm always like loosey goosey on panels. Doesn't matter where it's at. I'm great. And I am preternaturally quiet. And I'm looking out, and it's nothing, of course, in a Batman panel. You're going to see 3 things. You're going to see a Batman, a Joker, and a Harley in every seat in some various form. You may see Cesar Romero's. There's a shit ton of Heath Ledgers. There's all of them. There's a cornucopia of Jokers, and it's spotlight on me. And I get that first line out, and it's crickets.
Hmm.
No one is saying anything. And you can see on my face, I was like, this is it. And so I just looked down and I finished the entire thing. And there is a moment of silence of Schrodinger. I don't know what just happened. Am I done or are people good? And it just exploded. And Roger was the first one to clap. I'll always remember that. He was the first one to clap. And it just exploded in applause. And I was genuinely taken back by it. And what nobody there knew was that, at least for that moment, that 13-year-old kid that got beat up in school and rushed home every day to make sure that he was in front of his TV at 4:30 to watch Batman the Animated Series, that looked at the credits scrolling past on the screen and saw that Kevin Conroy was Batman and Mark Hamill was Joker, and put it together that somebody gave people a job to be able to do that, and that's what you wanted to do. The 38-year-old was not in that seat that day, and that moment, it was the 13-year-old. That was the justification of all that going, it gets better. So if there's anything that I could pass on to somebody is like, if you're sitting and that's you're that 13-year-old, there's a moment that stands as evidence that it gets better. You just don't give up. So that's my favorite moment.
Hey, you know you're gonna do it.
Ooh.
You know you're gonna do it for us right now, right?
Oh, you want to do the Killing Joke?
I think you have to do it.
Come on, Troy.
Don't you guys think he has to do it? After
Yes.
the story? I
Do
think.
It's-
it.
Mhm.
Do it.
What's so funny is now, people are. I'm not hesitant to do the Joker. Joker's fun to do. It's fun to go off script. That's why I love that we have these today. But the what's funny is there are characters where I'm like, I don't want to do certain lines with certain characters. I don't know if you guys are weird about that. But let me see if I can find this real quick, because I almost want to go grab my copy of it, but someone else give theirs and I'll come back to it.
Okay. Amanda, con story.
Oh my gosh. So, like I said, I don't go to a lot of them. I'm like opposite of Troy. I don't like a lot of people. I like one-on-one. That's why I think I ended
You're
up in like
weird.
the perfect job. I honestly like lots of people scare me. And I went down to that con that Troy was talking about,
hmm
where Paz was there. And that was the last time I've gone to one.
Are you serious?
Oh, wow.
No, for realsies. Because there were so many people, and it's just is like super overwhelming to me. But what I was so impressed with, and like my jaw was on, and I did a panel with Fred Tatasciore and Roger that day, and that's why I was down there. But never having been before, my jaw was on the ground at like the detail and the appreciation
Yeah, dude.
that the fans gave to every single character. I mean, I was like, I literally was like, how do you have so much time to put that together? And then people are going, no, they make that. They make those outfits, they do this themselves, or it's just, it's mind-blowing to me. And the fact that now, and that was kind of before Twitter and Instagram and all that stuff, right? And so now you have that on the daily, on the hourly, where people can appreciate your work. I just, it's yeah, and pay homage to like what you guys have done is just super cool to me.
I
Like,
love cosplayers. They're the best.
Amanda, I
Yeah.
like one-on-one too.
you do,
That doesn't surprise me about you, though.
yeah.
But
He's
you're
just-
a performer as
I
well.
mean, I
like,
used to be a performer. I was on floats and stuff in front of hundreds, and now I'm like,
Disney
I
princess.
don't really, I don't,
Ah,
unless I'm waving. I
wait,
gotta-
you were
joking.
actually a Disney princess?
a literal Disney princess.
Stop it. I
Literal
thought you were just being adorable. This is an actual thing.
Dead serious. I love this
Okay,
about her.
where can you tell us that story, please?
That's
Oh
cool.
God, Troy Baker, Troy
Love you.
Baker.
Oh, we're getting that
I was-
story. Mm.
I was a Disney princess in Japan for
Wow.
almost a year. I was Alice and Ariel, and
What?
yeah, and
Pictures. We need to see pictures.
Yeah, we're gonna.
No.
We
Yeah,
are going
come
to
on.
definitely need pictures to share with the
For
internet.
the Ship It show.
Yeah. Mm.
It's the Ship It show. We gotta have them.
I
Do you know that
mean-
there's actually there's ship it that goes on between Disney princesses and
Oh,
princes. I can tell you that much. But
Yeah,
yeah,
we're sure
Yeah.
about that.
And Prince and Princesses.
Wow.
yes, Yeah.
Wow.
Princesses and princesses.
I never knew that story. That's a great
Did you get it?
story.
Did you ever?
My favorite things.
Did you play?
I dated Prince Charming.
That's what I was wondering.
I dated Prince Charming. Yeah, and then Prince Charming cheated on me with Snow White. And I'm not even kidding you guys.
Dish, baby, come
I'm
on.
not even kidding you guys. Snow White we were backstage in the green room, and I found out, and I got really pissed off. And I was in my Alice costume, and she was in a Snow White costume, and we.
I
You guys
didn't know
had a
that.
fight?
Right.
Shut
Cat
up.
fight.
Wow.
Disney
Nope.
Rip
princess
that bitch's
fight.
tiara right off.
I'm not kidding you. I'm not
And
blowing
you
it
were
out of
literally
proportion. We were
fighting.
both like reprimanded big time.
Whistle for your birds now, bitch. Whistle for your birds.
You were fighting over Prince Charming.
And we were fighting over Prince
Oh
Charming.
my God.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Legitimate story. One of the best Disney stories I have, I think.
We gotta do that ship and have
We
you
will
come back on.
we will do a ship for sure. We'll have a
We
Disney
should
ship.
find the Prince Charming. We should.
Oh, you want to know where he's at? Okay.
This
she
will be
wants to know where
fun. We
he's
gotta
at.
do that.
Like, we should find the Prince Charming.
Creeping on the timelines.
Is it true you stood Snow White while you were dating Alice?
Oh God.
That's a great story. Thanks,
Amanda,
Troy.
track him down. Let's get him on the show for that
Let's
ship.
get him.
Yeah, we'll get him on the show. But what people don't probably know, because we didn't even say, is that you are now a voiceover director, and you are absolutely one of the best. You do all the biggest kick-ass video games. You're an absolute pleasure to work with. It's like you make it fun and enjoyable and real and authentic. You can be yourself, and you let everybody play, and you're also awesome at feeding us information without making us feel like idiots. And you're one of the good guys. So
Where's Amanda been my whole life?
he just wants a job. Just ignore him. He just wants a job.
I love this when you're doing something. Amanda's tracking with you. She goes, my favorite ever is watch the face.
The face.
The face.
Oh,
face.
it's so cute.
face.
You you always know where you stand with Amanda.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I just got so spoiled. I got so spoiled with Andrea Romano being my first voiceover director and
Nice
directing me
flex.
and
So- the legend Andrea Romano.
Yeah,
So many
yeah.
shows I got to work with her as my director. I got spoiled. Not that there aren't others that are great, but it's like,
Yeah.
I guess I got spoiled.
Do you know there's another fun fact? I've never met Andrea.
What?
Oh.
Come on.
Yeah. Legit, guys. Never. And I'm like,
Oh,
this has got
that's
to
too
happen.
bad.
This
She's
has got to happen
Oh
for
my
me.
gosh.
Because I
Angel.
adore her.
Yeah, she's a
and all
goddess.
of the work she's ever done. And I'm like, this is just lame. I see you guys, seriously, when I walk into something like, I don't know, it'll be someone's birthday party, someone's having a big to do and everybody's there from the voiceover world, and she'll show up for a little bit of time and I'm like, there she is, I'm gonna meet her tonight. And then she like leaves. I'm like, damn it.
Oh, you're
On a
so
cloud,
cute. You know
like
what?
with
I'm not
Greg.
kidding. I hope she hears this and like calls me up because I'm gonna be like, please, yeah. No kidding.
Oh, you're
Yeah.
so cute,
She's a
fangirl.
queen.
Yeah,
She
Yeah,
is.
man.
She's a goddess.
she is. She is. Yeah.
Okay, Chad. Any good people dressed as something you drew, maybe, or a fun con story?
It's really funny because when we changed Harley's outfit for the new 52, there was actually a lot of Batman the Animated Series Harleys. You have to like you said, you have to classify them. Just like you have the Heath Ledger Jokers and the Jack Nicholson Jokers. So you have your Harleys, and the Batman the Animated Series Harleys really hated me. And I mean, there were some times where I'd be at a show and they would come up and they're like, why did you change the costume? And I'm like, okay, hold on a second. Time out before you jump the table and, choke me out. I'm working for a company and they're giving me art direction I have plenty of crazy stories with
It's all right. We've ruined a lot of childhoods, right?
but I get it. And people ask me all the time, they're like, well, what's your favorite Harley? And I'm like, well, of course my favorite Harley is the Harley I grew up with. And sometimes that makes other comic creators mad. They're like, well, you got to back your Harley. I'm like, no, I don't. It's just like it's like Superman. The first Christopher Reeve.
Oh,
Only one to me. He's the only
Right,
Superman to me. I can't even watch another Superman. Also, I hate to say it, but Batman too. I can't watch another Batman other than Homie.
Oh
And who?
Adam
You know what
West,
I'm
Kevin
talking
Conroy,
And
who?
Adam West. I was like, what?
You know what I'm talking about?
Michael Keaton?
no.
Yeah.
I was gonna say if you're like
Michael
George Clooney, man, I can't do it. Val Kilmer,
No,
that's like
George-
that's it for me.
No, I erased all the other one. Michael Keaton's the only
I
Batman.
saw a Batman with nipples, and I was like, "That's it. This is the Batman that I've been waiting for."
Michael
Oh my
Keaton's
God.
the only Batman in my world.
Got it. Wow. You know, when people dress up at cons and stuff, Harley Joker is one of those pairs when they do cosplay together as couples that like they actually live their lives as these people. They go on dates as
Yes.
Harley Joker. They have Harley Joker weddings. I mean,
They
I've
rob
seen it with other
banks.
ones too. They kill people robbing, and they're so sweet. I met this couple at a grocery store, and the girl had Harley hair, and her boyfriend had like green hair, and I walked by and she went. Right? And I went, hi, you cute. And she's like, she was freaking out. And her boyfriend live as Harley and Joker. Like they live as this ship. It's
That's
like really important.
every day.
Mm-hmm.
This
So
is
really,
their, yeah.
It just speaks to people. Crazy love. It speaks
Yeah.
to people that crazy.
Amanda, when you were as a princess, your Disney princess, did you wear your outfits when you were hooking up?
Oh my God, Greg!
I'm
Once
just
in a while you had
curious.
sex as Alice in Wonderland. You're a sicko.
No,
You're an actual sicko.
Come on, tell us the truth.
No, for real.
I don't know.
You know, we're gonna find your Prince Charming and we're gonna get the truth out of him, okay?
Okay.
Amanda?
Okay,
Mhm,
please
mhm.
do. Please do.
Yeah,
I know that
ironically, the prince did though. That's what's weird is he was like, I have to be in character in order for me to achieve. Like, okay, we don't.
Yeah.
Are you ready to perform for us, Troy?
Are we going back to that?
I think so. You thought you were gonna
All
get
right.
away without
No.
doing that? Okay.
I'm happy to. Memories can be vile, repulsive little brutes like children, I suppose. But can we live without them? Memories are what our reason is based upon. If we cannot face them, we deny reason itself. Although, why not? We are contractually tied down to rationality. There is no sanity clause. So when you find yourself locked into an unpleasant train of thought, heading for the places in your past where the screaming is unbearable, remember, there's always madness. Madness is the emergency exit.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Yes! Yes!
Dang,
Holy
You put-
shit! You are
put my Joker to
definitely
shame,
my
dude.
pudding. Yeah, you can't even talk anymore. I only
dude, it's
Fuck, dude, are you kidding me? That was
Great.
insanity. You
Thanks,
are
man.
like, you channel the Joker spirit for sure.
Well, you should play the live action version, bro.
There's like one that I wouldn't mind. Like there was a different mocap actor that did for Arkham Origins just for the sheer necessity of the work. Like Batman had to be 6'7" and destroy
Yeah,
things.
weren't
and
they up in like Montreal too? Troy?
Montreal.
I can't remember. Yeah.
So the guy, what they would do is they would record us and then play it back on stage and they would mime. And the guy's physicality to do, I was like, I don't know if it's my age or what, but that guy does yoga. Like he can move in ways
Mhm.
that I can't. But it would be fun just to do that. But at the same time, I like the anonymity and I like that we get to hide behind. It's more of a partnership, right? It's
You know what? We should just do a video just for fun of all of us playing
I'm down.
ourselves, on camera as some of our favorite characters, just
Like
for
to
us
hear
to
your
have.
pitch. Just your script, man. What do you have in mind? What do we have? Here? What do we do?
I'm putting that out there. We are all going to make a video of us playing ourselves on
I-
camera.
Any day of the week and twice on Sunday, I will be the Joker to your Harley. For
Yes!
sure.
Yes, I call this
For
a very triumphant episode. Okay. We have two more things to do before we let
Okay.
everybody go. One
Greg's
is
gonna poop.
Greg's stupid game.
Okay.
Wait, did you want to learn how to poop correctly first?
No, no,
I
no,
not-
no, no,
not
no, no,
necessarily
no, no.
learn.
Please,
Okay.
Troy, no, you don't want this.
There's
you don't
fan.
want
By the
this.
Kinda
way,
do.
there's fan art. There's like a graphic novel, like a clip that shows you how to do it correctly based on my direction. So
Oh my
you can look it up.
gosh.
It's a Ship It Show Greg Sipes How to Poop Correctly like fan art. I'll send it to
Oh
you.
my God.
But,
I can't believe this is happening again. Okay.
wait, Tara,
you kinda
who was it that I was explaining to?
Jesus.
Who was that?
Well, Kari said that you had walked in on him pooping and one of the writers on the show pooping, and you got into their stall and showed them how to poop.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Doesn't
So
surprise
back
me at all.
Sorry, Greg.
You're a crazy fucking. You're a really crazy dude. You know that, Sipes?
I am. Okay. Ship, marry, kill. Someone from the world that the Joker, Harley Quinn world. Ship, marry, kill.
So you yourself is answering this question.
Okay.
Who Troy would ship, who he'd marry, who he'd kill in this DC universe that we all get to play in.
Okay. Man, I could go crazy with this if I wanted to. I would I'm gonna go one obvious. Okay. I would ship Harley. I would marry Bruce Wayne.
Mm-hmm.
Financial stability.
Right.
Right.
You
And
don't
on
have to
toys.
explain. We all know why.
He just wants the damn toys.
I don't know he's Batman. I don't want to marry, but I would kill Gordon
Ooh.
Oh, really?
because I know what that would do to Batman. I would kill Gordon. It's never about killing Batman. Batman's the toy. I want to play with him. That's why. What does he do to Barbara? He pushed that button. So I would kill Gordon just because I knew that would crush him. I already did Robin, and that just gave us more Robins. So I don't do that.
You're like a really
good.
dark. You're a dark
Yeah,
person.
Gordon. Whatever you do.
Kill Gordon.
Twisted, man. Twisted.
God.
Like
Goodness.
year one Gordon too, the one that you really loved. You're like, oh, I understand you. You're not the guy with the phone in the office. You're like the person that's a cop that's
Yeah.
divorced.
Yeah, but you're also killing my dad. So stop talking about that.
Well,
It's a true story. Chad, ship, marry, kill.
Oh.
good one, right?
Yeah.
You know,
Great game, Greg. Great game. Love it.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Way to put me on the spot. I've been married for 25 years, so I'm going to go with the safe answer.
Kill your wife.
No.
He has to be in the
Absolutely
DC
not.
universe.
DC.
It has to be in the DC universe. Okay. Well, Wonder Woman.
Oh, okay.
Ship Wonder Woman. Okay.
Ship, Wonder
Uh,
Woman.
Oh, geez. I'm mad that you stole Bruce Wayne because
That's
the
a good one.
financial stability.
Financial stability alone.
Who
It's
else
like it's a
is
marriage
rich?
of convenience.
Lex. No, not Lex. I couldn't do that. I couldn't. And then kill. Well,
Get married, Beast Boy, bro. I got a lot of
See,
love for everybody.
I would have to kill a villain. I'd probably kill Doomsday. I mean, that's pretty epic. I mean, Superman couldn't take him out, but Chad could.
I like that answer.
So
Okay. All right. Amanda?
Okay. Ship. I
Prince
have to
Charming.
say- Ship would be Harley, because like
Right.
I think just yeah.
Because
Every chick's got a dark side.
Please,
every
she's a
chick's got
sexy
an
bitch.
edgy- Yeah,
Love
I just
her.
like
I ship Harley. What are you talking about?
Ship is Harley for me. Mary would be Wonder Woman.
Right.
Yeah, because I just love Wonder Woman. And then kill. I think you played this. I don't like Two-Face.
What?
Yeah. Something about him. And you did it, right? Troy?
Yeah.
Something about
Oh,
Two-Face.
breaking my heart.
Yeah. I don't know. And it
He's
was
the one-
really, really a dark one. I remember us doing that. So yeah, I'd probably kill Two-Face. Because like Penguin's got the charm, I'm like going through all the villains going, no, I kind of like that. But like Two-Face, I don't know. To me, it's
I
just
never
like-
found Penguin charming. The only
maybe it's
version
just
of
Nolan.
well, there's that.
I don't know. But
There's the one that I love. The Penguin version that I love is from Telltale's Batman. and there's one idea that was floated around that I can discuss now because the company's defunct, but it was we chose to focus on Oz as the character in the same way we focus on Bruce in that particular story, but Oswald Cobblepot, Oz, and Bruce grew up together and were like, went to like college
Very
together and
cool.
everything.
Yeah.
Oh, I never thought about that. Yeah.
And so they leaned into that. And there's a moment between Oz and Bruce where Oz was like, I really care about you. And Bruce like, yeah, man. He goes, I really care about you. And Bruce goes, oh no. And like spurns those advances, and that sets Oswald off on his path and is the reason why he becomes the Penguin, the reason why he goes back after
Right.
Bruce and Batman. I was like,
That's deep.
Right.
What a
Yeah.
I love Danny
great
DeVito's
pitch, right?
Penguin.
Huh?
Danny DeVito's
is
Penguin.
great.
Travis Willingham put it best. He was like, did he just put coffee grounds in his mouth just so he could continually just like have
Solid
black
egg
shit
and
cutting?
stuff. Yeah.
Rah. But on paper, that's who you get. It's like, we need somebody to play the Penguins. Like, I mean, we're first and only is going to be Danny DeVito, right? So like, who else are we going to get?
Amazing.
And you love Tim Burton's Batman.
Me?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I didn't even know Tim Burton did it. I just like Michael Keaton and Danny DeVito.
Hey, Troy.
What?
We're gonna read a couple famous love story scripts together
Okay.
as Joker and Harley.
Okay.
Greg, do you have it?
It's better if Amanda reads the direction.
Okay,
as,
Amanda, will you read the
that's-
stage
yeah.
direction?
Instruction.
I'm gonna do the sound effects and the sound
Please
design.
do.
Oh,
Please
yes,
do.
please.
No pooping.
Okay. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Interior living room night. Joker enters. Harley is seated on the opposite side of a room full of people.
Hello. Hello. I'm looking for my wife.
Harley looks up, robbed of words. Stunned, she does not move.
Okay. If this is where it has to happen, this is where it has to happen. I'm not letting you get rid of me. How about that?
He shares a look with some of the other women. She's not going to say a word. Neither do they.
This used to be my specialty. I was good in the living room. They'd send me in there. I'd do it alone, and now I don't know.
Joker looks down, taking a moment to collect his thoughts.
Tonight, so hard to not do. Our little project. But tonight, our little project, our company had a very big night. A very, very big night, but it wasn't complete. It wasn't nearly close to being in the same vicinity as complete because I couldn't share it with you. I couldn't hear your voice or laugh about it with you. I miss my wife. Fuck, I'm fouling right now. I'm sorry.
You're doing great.
Amazing.
We live in a cynical world. A cynical world. And we work in a business of tough competitors. I love you. You complete me. Not just...
Shut up! Just shut up! You had me at hello. You had me at hello.
So I didn't have to say everything else after that because I really went vulnerable. That's not my jam. So to speak.
Shut up, Puddin'.
That was awesome.
Wow. good
Okay.
job.
All I could think about was that Patton Oswalt bit where
Me
he's sitting
too.
with his brother at
Me too.
Christmas.
And his brother
oh,
shouts, yeah.
fuck you.
So funny.
Can never think about that movie the same way.
Okay,
after
we have one
listening to
more,
that bit.
and we're not gonna say what this one is
Okay.
before.
All right. I
Okay,
understand.
And you'll do the stage direction, Miss Amanda.
I will.
Okay.
Okay. Interior cabin day. Harley and Joker enter the room.
It's quite proper, I assure you. This is the sitting room with this light too.
What?
Don't artist needs good light?
This is true, but I'm not used to working in such horrible conditions.
Harley chuckles. Joker is distracted by a painting in the corner.
Monet.
Oh, you know his work?
Of course. Look at his use of color here. Isn't it great?
I know, it's extraordinary.
Harley walks to the adjacent room and opens a safe.
Bruce insists on carting this hideous thing everywhere.
Hate that guy. Should we be expecting him anytime soon?
Not as long as the cigars and brandy hold out.
Harley pulls a diamond necklace from the safe and hands it to the Joker.
That's nice. What is it? A sapphire?
A diamond. A very rare diamond. Mr. J, I want you to draw me like one of your French girls. Wearing this.
Can do. I mean, all right.
Wearing only this.
Good job, guys.
I would definitely cast both of you in
That
these
was
roles.
great. When I read
I
this,
have one
I
last
was
thing to
like,
say.
this is
If for
actually
some
a really
reason,
good scene for them.
should this night end in, I don't know, calamity, and you and I happen to end up on a long, big piece of wood, I want it said now. Plenty of fucking room.
Don't worry, Puddin'.
There's
I'll
a
scoot.
manner
I'll
of ways that
scoot
we can
over.
lay on this thing
I'll
together.
scoot over, Puddin'. Don't worry. We'll go together on that door. You're right.
No, I can't let you go. Get off. Get off. Get off.
Oh, it's so true.
When was the last time you saw that movie, by the way?
It's been a minute.
Yeah,
I'd
me
see it
too.
again. I liked it. I thought it
So-
was well done.
Pam loves that movie. Loves that movie. She was one of all in. We went to go see it when they put it back out in the theater. Wow. It's awful. It is.
Oh, really?
I
We
think
What
watched
movie?
it.
Yeah.
What movie is it?
We're like,
Titanic.
what Titanic was like,
Oh.
what saps we were. This is a
it doesn't
terrible
hold, it doesn't
movie.
hold up.
It does not hold up.
That's good
James
to know.
Cameron, wonderful feat. It is literally like 2.5 hours for you, like 30 minutes of you waiting for the guy to ping pong off of the fan, and then how long is too rude for me to get up and leave this date and
Isn't
go to
it
back?
funny? Isn't it funny when you see movies later that you thought were so awesome? I couldn't wait to show my kids Total Recall. And
Don't you dare! Don't you dare!
the worst piece of shit. No, that is the worst movie ever.
Are you talking
I
about the
forgot
remake with Colin Farrell? Because you're right
I was
about
gonna
that.
say it's still
I
better
forgot
than the
about-
Colin Farrell.
Yeah.
The woman with the three tits. I forgot
every
about,
guy, every guy's like, I mean, yeah, that's it's not weird to me. It
It's a
should be weird to me, but it's not
terrible,
weird to me.
Terrible movie.
Sharon Stone, man,
What's your favorite movie of all time?
it's impossible.
I have a favorite.
I
You have a
favorite.
What's
How do
your-
you have a
Sarah?
favorite movie? All right, what's your favorite movie?
Defending Your Life.
Really?
I love
I
it
don't
so
even-
much. I could
I
watch it
didn't
a
see
million
Defending
times
Your
and I
Life.
cry every fucking time, and it's just.
I don't even know what that is.
What is it?
Well, you don't know what anything is, so that's
That's
not
true.
surprising.
I bet
me
you don't
neither.
know the
Oh.
movie. My
what is
favorite movie
Defending
of-
Your Life?
Yeah, what is that?
It is Albert Brooks and Meryl
Yeah,
Streep.
dude.
And the concept is that you're here on Earth to learn, which I'm sure we all believe too. And the concept of this film is you're on Earth to conquer fear. And
I
when
saw
you
it.
die, you go to Judgment City and you get attorneys, and they play moments of your life, and then they decide if you're ready to move on in the universe.
It's a
It's
play.
really good.
Like
That's
it
really
is
good.
a play.
And yes.
Was
Ah.
it 86, 85,
80
86?
in the 80s. Oh, was it
I
early
just-
90s?
Ugh.
That sounds pretty good.
Greg,
It
was
what
really
is
good.
yours?
Yeah.
It's
Hudson
called
Hawk.
the Holy. It's called the Holy Mountain.
No. Oh, no. Are you serious?
Yeah, Alejandro
Wait a minute.
Jodorowsky
Yeah.
wrote it, directed it, started the soundtrack. John Lennon and Yoko Ono, or John Lennon funded it in 1968, and
Wow.
to me it came out in 1970, and it's the most beautiful movie ever made. For me, it's a revelation, and it's a
All right.
meditation. It's twisted, but
Oh, it's very.
I was
It's
going to do the time
amazing.
cop, but I'll check it out.
yeah, you'd appreciate it. I think it's
All right.
the weirdest movie ever made. It's super controversial.
I've seen
and
Heaven's Gate.
You should check it out, The Holy Mountain.
I found out about that movie from watching Jodorowsky's Dune.
Yeah.
Because from a visual standpoint, I make my concept art students watch it. They have to go watch it because you had Geiger, you had Mobius, you had all these talented people working on the pre-production of that film, and I make them watch it. And I saw that he directed that film, and my roommate Kenshi and I, we watched it, and we just weren't high enough. we were not high enough.
I was really stoned the first time I watched it. It was funny. It was actually a funny story. Ciro Nieli and Brandon Almond came up. We were making, I forget what show we were making at the time, Super Robot Monkey Team Hyperforce Skull for Disney. And they're like, yo, we got to come up to your house and change your fucking life with this movie. I'm like, yeah, right, whatever, dude. So they came over. They got me super stoned. They hit play, and my life changed forever. I think I'm definitely, as weird as I am, because of Jodorowsky's The Holy Mountain. In a lot of ways, as an artist, he inspires
I'm gonna have to watch
just me
this.
to be fearless in what I'm creating and putting out, for better or worse.
I love our group of humans here tonight. I feel like we could do a podcast together every week about a topic. Like, everyone has such interesting perspectives. I love this little group that we got tonight.
And different perspectives.
Yeah.
I think
Watch The Holy Mountain.
Okay, I'm into it.
Okay.
Don't yell at me. I'm
Get
scared.
stoned first.
I frightened.
Okay.
Okay. I'm into that.
Does anyone else want to answer favorite movie question before we let everyone go? Who's
Yeah,
been
man,
so awesome
come on.
today?
Oh God, guys!
Oh,
I
man,
don't
Wyatt.
even know. It's
gonna
like
be a Disney movie.
bubblegummy, probably.
What?
I was gonna say it's probably like bubblegummy. Like it's like a date movie. Probably like I fucking love Roman Holiday. Like
Oh,
I
yeah.
love Roman Holiday.
That is a great film.
Yeah.
It is a little weird.
Yeah.
He is
So, like,
he is a little old
Revenge
for
of
her.
Yep. He is a
He is
little
old for her.
Yeah. But I love
Why
Roman
don't you just give me a shirt back?
Yeah.
I don't have one. It's impossible for me to. There's so many movies that change for me.
Name one.
Dude, Godfather is. I could go so deep onto Godfather.
Yeah.
Have you seen Coda?
No.
Have you seen the
the Mario
re-release of
Puzo
3?
thing?
Yeah.
No. Do I want to?
I bought it, but I haven't watched it yet. So I was hoping you'd seen it.
Yeah, I go 1 and 2, and then 3 is like I understand, but I just need to see the 2 is a far better movie in my opinion, but 1 is the one that Francis Coppola wanted to make. But it's 1 is just like what it does in tone. Like Raiders of the Lost Ark 2 is just like it's a perfect movie. It's a perfect movie.
Yeah.
I don't know, different movies for different reasons. That's why I love that there's typically we don't have to pick down one. It's kind of like whatever suits your fancy. Because I'm fancy.
You're
my
so
tea.
fancy. All right, Chad, favorite movie.
Visually, I love Blade Runner and Blade Runner 2049.
My kid loves
I
it too.
love them visually.
My
Yeah,
kid
me
loves
too.
it.
And you're talking about we're making fun of like Total Recall. You can go watch Blade Runner today.
Yeah, Blade Runner
And the
does
visual
hold up.
effects
Yeah.
hold up.
Hold up.
That's how beautiful that movie
Even the
is.
floating cars. It all holds up.
It does.
Yeah.
So, and people grumbled with the sequel. I loved it. I loved Ryan Gosling. I loved Harrison Ford.
That was a great
Visually,
movie. That was a great movie.
yeah.
I can't wait for you all to watch The Holy Mountain because there's stuff in there there's stuff in there that you can't even you'd be like, is that what planet did they shoot on? I mean, it's the biggest extravagant.
1973
It is a
Mexican
trip.
surreal fantasy film directed, written,
trip.
produced, co-scored, co-edited, and starring Alejandro Jodorowsky. All right.
Okay.
The man. I got to shake his hand a couple years ago, and it changed my life. I'm still vibrating from shaking Alejandro Jodorowsky's hand. I am. He's a master. He's 94 years old, still making movies.
And he's still making graphic novels too. He wrote The Inkall when he
I
couldn't
have
make.
it right here.
Do you? All right. Oh, that's so awesome. Yeah. So Metabarons, all that. Yeah, that's all him. So.
Can
Awesome.
I ask a quick question? Is there ever a session where it's Tara, Greg, Troy, and Roger in the same room? Has that ever happened?
Wait, who all's in the room now? I just need to know.
Well, maybe not you, because now I know you two don't know each other, but has there ever been a session where it's Greg, Tara, Troy, and Roger in the same room?
No.
No.
There's been
we got
Tara Troy.
And we have had Greg Roger Tara. He was on Ben 10 a lot.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Wait, weren't you on
Roger.
Ben 10?
I did a
What?
couple of things on Ben 10.
I hate Roger.
He's literally the least
The worst
talented,
human.
rude too.
Really rude. Really
One of the
rude.
most just like if you catch him on a bad day,
Ego.
you'll catch a hand.
What
He'll
a
hit
dick.
you.
He doesn't
Ego,
even
too.
deserve to live.
Loves LA though, like more than like.
He's so LA.
So
He is
he's
LA.
probably the most LA person that I know.
No.
Like, he's like-
I miss being in sessions with everybody. I really do.
I know, dude.
It's tough. It's tough. But we've been really happy doing this and connecting, and the fans really love hearing about all the stuff that we love, and
Yeah,
you
this
guys
is
really
super
love
cool, guys.
what you do. And before we let everybody go, I
Yep.
just want you to give
Money.
you know, an opportunity to you all spoke so much about living your dream and getting to do it. So just maybe some words of wisdom for kids out there, or what Joker means to you, just to take us out.
I blew my inspiration wad earlier, all over you. The notion that that helped me the most is understanding that genetically I am predisposed to being a storyteller, so I need permission from no one. Like we were telling stories before we could speak. Like we were trying to communicate our story from the foundations of when we climbed out of the caves. That's who we are. That's always who we've been. We've been telling stories, and different people tell their story in different ways. Find the way that you want to tell your story, and you tell your story. Don't let anybody else tell your story for you. Someone on Twitter can't tell your story for you. They don't even know who they are. They can't tell you who you are. Keep the pen in your hand and you tell your story. And tell it excellently. Don't half-ass it. Tell it all the way. I was on the phone with a mentor of mine today, and I said, "Do you think this thing is your magnum opus?" He said, "It always is. Everyone that I've ever done is my magnum opus. Otherwise, why am I doing it?" It's everything
Nice.
you're doing, right? That's some real shit. Like I got off that call and it was like, it was just a Zoom meeting. And I was like, I want to cry right now.
Aw, I love that. Thanks.
That's
Troy.
beautiful, man. That's
Thanks,
inspiring.
Troy.
I love that.
Yeah, for real.
Thank you.
Amanda.
You know, I have to
Go.
no, I have to go. No, I have to say that you guys are inspiring to me, and I hope that the fans out there get that there's people like me who kind of stumbled into this job, and I am so blessed that I get to do what I do every day. And never would I have imagined that I would have been a video game voiceover director, because they kind of didn't exist when I was growing up. But the fact, people ask me why I do it, and I say because the people I work with are inspirational in a way. Even with you, Chad, I bet at some form of you always wanted to draw comics,
Yeah.
right? And so now
Since-
you're doing it, right? Some form of Tara always wanted to be a performer, Troy as well, Greg as well. So if you're not one of those, that's cool. Surround yourself with the people that are those people, and they will lift you up, and just enjoy like the ride that you're on. I mean, the devs, you guys can, I mean, the developers we work with video games, like this is all they wanted to do, right? From their first Atari, and now they're sitting there with hoodies on and making games. And that's why I've never not liked a client. Like I've never gone, that guy's a jerk, because they are doing something they love. So that's my,
With the exception of Roger Craig Smith.
I
With the
knew.
exception
I
of
was
Roger
gonna
Craig
say that. I was gonna say the same thing.
Yeah, there's him. He's just got a chip on his shoulder.
Well, we're
But
gonna,
no.
you know what? We're gonna have a Ship It Show episode with Roger, and this will be the Roger Show, and we'll just bring everyone on really quick to say why they hate him. We'll do that. Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
Doesn't work. I think is why he's angry. He just doesn't work. Never gets a job. I understand his frustration.
You know, we have this thing where we always pretend we hate each other everywhere we go. And he was at an audition, and I was after him, and I was telling him how terrible he was. He's like, I don't think they know the joke. Sorry, Raj.
Like just FYI.
Oh, he's not terrible. He's not. I was kidding. Okay, Chad, your little goodbye message to all the fans.
Thank you. First of all, thank you to all my fans. Thank you for everything. I live a charmed life. I get to do exactly like you guys said. I've wanted to be a comic book artist since I was 12 years old. People ask you all the time, what did you want to be when you grew up? I was like, I wanted to be a comic book artist. And I am a comic book artist. And if you do want to go into the arts, just don't ever give up. I broke in when I was 30 years old. Most people break in when they're 18. I broke in when I was 30. Now, don't get me wrong. I wasn't sitting around with my thumb up my butt. I was working other jobs, but persistence pays off. So just be persistent. Keep your head down, keep your shoulder to the wheel, and always keep your eye on the prize and keep pushing forward.
Yeah. You. Beautiful. Right. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for joining us today. It was very, very special. I love this.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, yeah. Thank
My
you.
favorite ship so far.
You say that every episode.
Every time.
I felt special.
That was an incredible episode. It was so meaningful and touching and fun and interesting. Did you love that episode?
For me, it was very nutritious, inspiring, beautiful, and I really enjoyed it. Definitely, like I said, it's one of my favorite ships so far. And I think we should have them all back on. Like, it wasn't enough time.
It wasn't enough time. We didn't even get into all the Harley Joker love relationship, and it is such a beautiful love, and I think that's why that show translated and it was so special. So thank you guys so much for joining us, and make sure you tune in next week when we meet all of my favorite Harley and Joker cosplayers.
I can't wait for that. That's gonna be amazing. Because at Comic-Cons, you see more Harley and Joker, people cosplaying more than almost any other cosplay.
I think I would say it's arguably the biggest cosplay coupleship at any Comic-Con for sure.
Pretty amazing.
I feel very confident saying that. Maybe we should dress up as Harley and Joker one time.
I'm not scared.
You could be like a beastie Joker.
No, I played Joker in a couple shorts, but he's kind of like the Greg Sipes Joker.
I know, but you weren't good.
I was great. I was a great Joker. What are you talking about?
No, you were good.
You didn't even watch my performance. We got to go back into the archives. I'm sure it's on YouTube. I'll find it. During this episode, we got to show the people my Joker just for a clip.
No, nobody wants to see that.
Everybody, do you all want to see it? Everybody wants to see it. Play the clip.
No, they don't.
Boom.
They don't.
Troy Baker's got nothing on my Joker. I'm joking. I'm joking.
What's with the pointing today?
I don't know, but I like it. Everybody, make sure you subscribe, like, and follow us, The Ship It Show. Don't forget, I'm Greg Sipes. I play Joker in the Imposter's shorts. And
is that really? Is that how you did it? Dude, that's really terrible. Is that how you did it?
Use it.
You're so bad at Joker. You're a horrible Joker. Don't ever hire Greg Sipes as a Joker again.
I'm the Joker.
No, don't ever hire him as the Joker again.
Hire me as the Joker. I've already played the Joker. I don't need to play him again.
I know, but you don't need to.
Actually, maybe I will just for fun. I'll say yes when they offer me the role.
They're not gonna.
We'll see.